I always say this, right? Only take advice from people who've already done or are doing what you'd like to do. Don't take advice from anyone else. Is it too late in the game? Is the bubble over? No way. We're actually just getting started. If you're watching this video, the most likely reason you clicked on this is because you would like to start an online business right now in 2020. And this, having an online business right now during the global pandemic, became even more important. But the question that you probably have on your mind is now the right time? Given everything we're going through, is right now the best time to start an online business? I took my whole business online when lockdown hit, when COVID happened. And I've made multiple six figures over the actual lockdown period. And what I want to show you is how you can do the same, the steps you need to take to be able to start and flourish in your online business. So keep watching right till the end. Hi YouTube family, my name is Dr. Mahmood Mawjee, and I'm a speaker coach and a business coach. The journey of entrepreneurship, the journey to launch your own business has never been an easy one. There's so many options out there. And I truly believe that each and every person out there who wants to start their own business, who wants to grow their own business, should have a mentor, a guide with them along the way. If you'd like me to be your mentor, please go and check out my website, and I'd love to be able to help you on this journey. Lots of people say that, do you know what, it's too late, you should have started this before, we're well into the game right now, the bubble may be over. Do not listen to those types of people. The people who are probably saying that are people who aren't doing it themselves. I always say this, right? Only take advice from people who've already done or are doing what you'd like to do. Don't take advice from anyone else. Is it too late in the game? Is the bubble over? No way. We're actually just getting started. So what I firstly want to do is I want to start with the 3 W's. That's who, what, and why. So I'm going to talk about the first W, which is who. Who can have an online business? And the real answer for that is anyone can have an online business. But the real truth is that most people won't be good at it. Now, why is that? Because there's certain traits that someone who has an online business, that entrepreneur, needs to be able to have. And when I give you this list right now, you may see that you don't have those traits, but that's okay, because you can learn different things at any time. So the first quality you need as an entrepreneur to start an online business is you need to have that curiosity around you, right? The first C, curiosity. Now what curiosity is you need to be curious about what's going on out there, what's going on in the world, what value can you add, what do people need? Like right now with COVID, all of a sudden, right, the whole dynamics of the world has changed. There's some people who need different things. The online industry has boomed, some shops have closed down, the sales in shops have gone down, where online's booming. People need different things. You can't go to the barbers anymore. So many things have changed. So you have to be curious enough to have a look around you and see where can you add the most amount of value in this world. You will be paid depending on the amount of value you add in this world. You want to earn 100,000 a month, you've got to be able to put 100,000 worth of value onto this earth, right? And the second trait that an online entrepreneur must have is they need to be adaptable. So being curious isn't enough, but then you need to be adaptable. What I mean by adaptable is you need to be able to pivot. Like everyone's been talking about, you got to pivot, you got to pivot, you got to pivot. What does pivoting mean? Pivoting means that, some of us, we just want things the same way all the time, and we're driven by something we call certainty, that we need a certain type of life. But right now, with the changing world the way it is, you need to be able to adapt, you need to be able to pivot and do different things because the world needs it. For example, I used to be on a plane every other week, and I used to travel, and most of my income was brought because I used to travel and I used to speak on stage, and then I had a course over here in the UK and people used to come here, but most of my lead gen was going to different countries and actually bringing people in. And the day we hit lockdown, no one would have thought, right, that the world would have closed up. And I lost, multiple 6 figures in income, and everything closed down. And I was like, what do I do? And people said, Mahmood, it's okay, right? 3 months we'll be back. 3 months, really? No one has any idea of what's going to happen, right? So what did I do? I had to adapt, I had to pivot. I've always wanted to have something online, but I never had the time to build something online because I was traveling all the time. And I thought, what can the gift be in this? And I said, maybe this is a calling for me to be able to now get my business online. And that's what I did. And I've used the last 6 to 8 months to build up this massive online platform, which has just, touched so many people from around the world. You wouldn't be hearing this if lockdown didn't happen. And for me, it's been the biggest blessing. The third quality that the entrepreneur needs to have is they need to be able to innovate. So it's not okay just to have one product and expect that to serve the world for, 10, 15, 20 years to come. Things are going to be changing all the time. Well, whether you've got an iPhone or a Samsung, every week you'll probably get an update. Why do you get an update? Because they're always working to innovate, to make things better. If there were no updates, the Apple would be obsolete, the Samsung would be obsolete, all apps would be obsolete. There are versions coming out all the time. So you have to be able to keep up with the market, know what's happening. You've got to be able to love what you do so you can go out there and keep on looking and find out, who's one step ahead, so you can go and look at what they do and then model things on them. Reid Hoffman, who was the founder of LinkedIn, said a great thing. He said that if you're not embarrassed by your version 1, then you've left it too late. So the idea is that sometimes we're waiting for things to be perfect, but they'll never be perfect because version 1 is always better than version 0. It's not as good as version 2, but version 1 will always be better than version 0. So the point is just to be able to get it out there, just to get it out there in the ecosystem, let it happen, get it out there, and then tweak. So this one is you must be someone who loves to innovate or can become someone who loves to innovate. The last character of an entrepreneur who wants to have an online business is they need to be resilient. That it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. It's going to be tough. Because if you're building up an online business, what you're saying is, I want to have life on my terms, right? And why should you be that 1% of people in the world who can have life on your terms? Why do you deserve it? And the thing is that you need to be built for this. And you need to know that you're going to get knockback after knockback after knockback. It's like, the world says that you run against this wall 100 times and then I'll knock it down for you. It's like that. You're going to be hit problem after problem after problem. But if you believe that there's a gift in every problem, you will find the answer to why that's making you better. The amount of problems we've had over the last few months, like as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you're a firefighter. What you're doing all day, you're just fighting fires. So you need to be able to be resilient, to be able to handle all the problems which come on, right? And to be able to understand that there's a reason inside this and use those problems to push you forward. Failure is going to be part of this journey. You're going to fail so much. If you look at the world's greats, the amount they failed, for example, right? Steve Jobs was chucked out of Apple. J.K. Rowling, 11 book publishers turned her down because they said, who'd ever want to read a story about a wizard? But it kept on going 200-300 times, and in the end they found their way. And the second W is what? So what type of business should you launch during this time of COVID? And I want you to look at this time and find a place in it where you can get the most out of it, right? What is a gift for you? In every single downturn, you will have the next billion-dollar companies being built. So what is it which you could do? What company could you build? What kind of company could you grow right now? So here's some examples. It may be great to have something online for fitness. The online fitness industry has boomed over the last few months. Why? People can't get to gyms. They need to stay healthy, not just physically, but mentally. We all know that our mental health is probably the most important thing because your psychology is all related to your physiology. So you need to be able to move. You need to be able to keep fit. More people are going to be wanting virtual personal trainers, apps which can show you how to get fit, get healthy, eat right. So maybe that's the place right now where you could really focus if this is a niche, if this is something you really like. Another place which I'm so passionate about because I build coaches, right? So I turn people into coaches. That's what I am. And I believe that each and every one of you, you've got gold dust in your mind, whatever it may be. It may be because you've been through a personal issue. You may have gone through a divorce. You may have built a business. You may know really well how to do, how to do flow charts, how to do stock handling, whatever it may be. You may know how to do Facebook ads really well. Now, if you could take that information from your mind and you could put it down on paper, you could devise a system, then you could have an online course. You could coach people. There are people who'd pay to be able to learn what's in your mind. We undervalue what we have in our mind so much because we feel that it's common knowledge, but it's not. You know it. I was in a profession, I was a dentist, and I really didn't like it, and it was killing me. And most people, we've got the highest suicide rate here in the UK in dentistry. And I know now that I serve a lot of dentists to be able to get them from a place where they hate, where they're fed up, where they feel trapped, to be able to give them the life of their dreams. Taken out what's in my head, and I've devised a program where I can put other people through to give them that in an instant. And I don't have to go through all the trouble I did. What have you gone through in your life? And the last W is why. Now, I'm going to spend the least amount of time over this because I think you know why you should be starting something up online. Because why not? You can do it sitting in your house. You can do it sitting wherever you want. You can do it in another part of the world, right? On a beach, you could sit there and you could work. You're not location limited. So if you want to do something, now is the best time. So that why is up to you. For some people, if you don't, fine, this isn't for everyone. But if you really want to do something online, there is nothing stopping you, right? Location, money, the barrier to entry is so low. What happens when there's another virus? What happens when there's another lockdown? If you can build up something right now, you will realize that you are so adaptable to change, right? We as humans, we need to be adaptable to change. And if you can pivot from what you're doing now to maybe have something online, do something you love online, you'll always be able to look after yourself, and you'll be able to look after your family, and you'll be able to serve the world well. Okay, so that's the W's done, right? Now, the last thing I want to tell you about is the how. I always say that you shouldn't be too worried about the how, because the how will always take care of itself. The what's and the why are the most important things. But I'm going to go into the how, right? A little bit. So how do you start? The first thing you do is take a step back and look and see what you're passionate about, what you're great at. So I would always say, look and see what your gift is. And your gift is made up of two things. Number one, it's made up of your passions, things that you love. And there's also something called your ultra strength. And what your ultra strength is something which you're great at, which comes to you easily. And what do most people come to you for? What's harder for other people but easy for you? When you mix your passion and your ultra strength, you kind of find your gift, what you're great at, what you're brilliant at. And start there. The only way that you're going to find what you're truly passionate about, what you really love to do, is by trying enough things. So it's not that you haven't got a gift. It's not that you haven't got a passion. It's just because you haven't tried things enough. So try lots of things. So the first thing is find out what you're great at if you can, and then really go after that. The other thing is have a big enough why. As I said before, your why can't be just about money, because you know life is up and down, just like your heartbeat, right? Up and down, up and down. Most people want that kind of life, but that's a dead life, right? Your heartbeat up and down. Those down days are the days you're going to grow the most. We never grow on the good days. We always grow on the bad days. We always grow on the down days. When you know what your why is, then you'll be able to go through any problem you have, because your why will be bigger than your problem. The next thing on the how is know what your strengths are. So it's very important that you understand what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And for some weaknesses you can leave, don't concentrate on them, but for some weaknesses you need to be able to get better at. For example, if your strength isn't speaking, get great at it because you need to. If your strength isn't selling, get good at that because you need to. But if your strength isn't admin, if it's not Excel sheets, whatever, that's fine. You can get someone else to do that. There are certain things you need to do because it's going to make you better, and there's certain strength which if you don't have, it's fine. And when you know what your strengths are, then focusing on them. Once you know what is it that you want to do, the product you're selling, the service you're going to have, go and speak to people who could potentially be your ideal customers, your ideal clients, and ask them that if I was selling this type of trainer, would you buy it? If I was selling this type of product, is it something you need? You know, ask them what are your biggest pain points, find out from them what is it that they need, and then see if you've got a market out there, because there's no point building this great product, taking ages to build it, and then you don't have a market out there. Another thing which you need to do is have some sort of business plan. It doesn't have to be a 20-page thing. It can just be, what is your plan? What is your target? What is your estimated income for month 1, month 2, month 3? How much is it going to cost? See whether you need any money. And then if you do need money, have a look and see whether you can borrow it. There's so many ways to get money, either from investors or just go to a credit card which has 0% interest. And like if it's not a lot, you can get it from there. There's so many ways of actually getting money that don't let money put you off. And the next thing, the most important thing after that is just start. Just start. Like sometimes we try to plan so much and we never ever start. And some of us, we've got the best ideas in the world, but we don't action against them, right? So just take the step, just jump. Your parachute doesn't open if you're standing still. Just take that leap, right? We always look at what could go wrong, but what about if we look at what could go right? Okay, I would love to be able to answer your question, so please comment below. Okay, please like, please share this. If you feel that there's other people who could benefit from this, please share this, please like this, please comment below with any of your questions. I would love to be able to answer you. Okay, take care, have a phenomenal day, and get that online business started.